Hey, good morning everybody. I hope everyone's doing well today. Just got news the other day that looks like we're not going to be heading back to school until was it May 4th. So yeah, it looks like we're going to be away from each other for a little bit while longer. So we'll continue to get in touch with each other this way until my other colleagues and I have had a chance to sit down and figure out a plan moving forward from here on out, knowing now that we're going to be apart for a little while longer. In any event, though, the fact remains I still miss you guys, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting back on that May 4th date. In any event, let's continue kind of the way that we have been for the past few days. And the first thing I'm going to do today is to give you a warm-up challenge. Your warm-up challenge today is going to be what's called an AMRAP. And as many of you might remember, AMRAP stands for as many rounds as possible. And what we're going to try to do today is a 7-minute AMRAP. And during that 7 minutes, you're going to try to get through as many rounds as you can. And the rounds are going to consist of 50 jump ropes. For the jump rope, I'm going to give you 3 options. The first option is for my really good jumpers. If you're somebody who's a really good jumper, you're definitely going to count your 50 jumps. The second option is for those of you who are still, working on becoming a very good jumper. If you're somebody who struggles with the jump rope, instead of counting your jumps, I'm just going to ask you to try to get as many jumps as you can in 40 seconds. You don't even have to count your jumps. Just take a look at the clock and just practice that jumping skill for 40 seconds. Once your 40 seconds is up, then you move on to your tuck-ups. And then for those of you who may not have a jump rope at home, all I'm going to ask you to do is just pretend and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're just trying to get all the way up to 50 simulated jumps. 11 tuck-ups. For our tuck-ups, all I'm going to do is I'm going to lie down flat on my back. I'm going to try to pull my knees up towards my chest and then touch my heels. Once I touch my heels, I'm going to go back down, but notice that my shoulders and my feet never touch the ground. And I'm just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, trying to get all the way up to 11. Now, ideally, if you cannot have your heels and shoulders touch the ground, that would be great. If you get tired, though, and you have to put them down, that's fine. A 100-meter run. For your 100-meter run, I'm pretty lucky here at my house. I have a driveway that's pretty long. It's about 50 meters long, so for me to go all the way down to the end of the driveway and back is about 100 meters. If you don't have that much space, you could go back and forth more than 2 times, or if you wanted to, you could just run in place. So similarly to the jump rope attempts, you would just jog in place and just take a look at the clock and just keep track of your time. And 11 shoulder touches. Now for your shoulder touches, you have 2 options here. You can either keep your feet down on the ground, or you can have your feet elevated off of the ground. Off the ground is going to be a little bit more challenging, but for those of you who may not be strong enough in your arms yet, you're just going to get into a plank position and you're just going to touch each shoulder 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 11. If you have an elevated surface, like a step or a stair or a chair or something like that, you can just elevate your feet. And now I'm just doing the exact same thing, touching my shoulders, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 11 there. Now what I like to do when I am going through an AMRAP is I like to have a pile of something next to me, and as I work I take one thing from the pile and I move it to another pile, and then when I'm done I just count up how many I moved. So in this case I have a stack of poker chips. I put the poker chips down next to the area that I'm working in, and then when I complete a round I just take one chip off, move it to another area. That lets me know that I've completed 1 round. When I complete the next round, I just take off another poker chip, and now you can see I've completed 2 rounds. When the 7 minutes is over, I just count up how many chips are in this pile, and that lets me know how many rounds I completed. You could use a stack of poker chips, you could use M&Ms, you could use grapes, whatever it is you want to do. Or you could just use a piece of paper and just use tally marks. It's really completely up to you. In any event, you're going to finish your 7-minute AMRAP, and then below is a little form for you to fill out just to let me know your name, and then you would just click off what round you got into by the time that 7 minutes was up. Now, for extra credit over the weekend, if you enjoyed last week's Sunita Williams Plank Challenge, I've got another challenge for you. And the challenge that I have for you is going to be called our Sunita Williams Trick Shot Challenge. Now, for our Trick Shot Challenge, I'm going to ask you to think of a creative way for you to throw an object into a target. The objects can be whatever you want it to be. It could be something traditional like a frisbee, a ball, maybe a bigger object like a soccer ball. It could be something non-traditional like a stuffed animal. Maybe not a sibling or something like that, but find an object or try to think of a creative object for you to throw. And then try to think of a target for you to aim for. Maybe it could be a basketball hoop, maybe it could be a cup, maybe it could be a bucket, helmet, who knows what. Your imagination is your playground. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to use a mobile device, set it up somewhere so that it's recording, and attempt to record a very creative way for you to throw something into a target. Now, I'm going to show you a clip of the trick shots that I came up with yesterday. But just know that most of the time, unless you're very, very lucky or very, very skilled, most of the time you're going to miss on your first attempt. In fact, I know yesterday when I was using the ping pong balls, it took me maybe 60 or 70 attempts for me to finally get it into the target. But that's fine. I mean, this is supposed to be creative and fun and engaging, and part of that trial and error is what helps us learn. In any event, you're going to record yourself doing a trick shot. When you complete the trick shot, edit it down, and you may need a trusted adult, maybe mom or dad, to help you edit your video down to just that shot. And I would love to see that video, and you can do that 2 different ways. You could do it using Twitter, like some of you did for the Plank Challenge, or if you can't share it that way, you could always email it to me. And my email is down below this video. Ask mom or dad to help you load your video onto your computer or maybe from your mobile device, and just send it to me. I'll take a look at all the videos. Maybe I'll choose 3 or 4. Maybe I'll choose 10 or 12. I don't know how many videos I'm going to get. I'll put them all together and I'll share them out next week on our website. In any event, have a great weekend. Stay active, stay safe, and let's play.